Just before 1 month, I came to know about Sadhguru. I said that what will this Dadi Wala Baba teach me? I know more than what Sadhguru is going to tell me. So I just googled about Isha Foundation. I came to know that Sadhguru has done this, Sadhguru has encroached the forest, Sadhguru has done this. But I'm going there, I'm seeing people that that made me realize that these people are doing something which I need to do. Then I came into Shambhavi. I can eat 6 to 8 meals in a day. After I started practicing Shambhavi, my meal became 3 times. And in my life, I've never done fasting. With the practice of 6 months, I did an 8 days fasting. So then in 2017, I started learning one Hatha Yoga practice called Angamardana. So with just few months of practice, I was able to, the weight became around, like I could distinctly see that, the weight has reduced. My body has become very light. I was able to push myself in limits which I thought, it's not possible. I started doing many things which logical framework mind people will think that, okay, how is that possible? Every day I used to climb around 15,000 to 20,000 steps. So everybody, whoever comes down, they will have oil in their hands, they'll do massage and everything. So that one day I went and I was doing some weightlifting. I decided that that is my last day of going to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym. I may not look muscular right now. I carry 50 kgs of luggage. There is an Instagram reel which I have also posted about it. If you wish, you can check that out. So if you really want to, build up your muscles, I think these practices are more than enough that you don't need to go to gym. The sweat what comes out on gym is a different thing. The sweat what comes out when you're doing the practices, this is of a different thing. I am going more deeper into Hatha Yoga. So when I go deeper, what I have realized and what participants have told us that since I'm taking classes in Sanskrit language, there are two meanings. So one, in Hatha Yoga, Hatha means adamant. Whatever happens, you are keep doing it. Even if they send you to the hell, the devil will get frustrated, but you are becoming like a Hatha Yogi. The bliss or the ecstasy what you feel, your body will feel naturally happy. This is a live experience what I'm happy. With my Hatha Yoga, when I do it, it's not a pain at all for me. I have been in very severe cold and fever states. When I do my Hatha Yoga practices, my practices become much more better, especially when I have fever. My stretches, the way I go into the posture, it becomes more better. As you keep doing the practice, the stability what it will create within you, you will see that you'll be able to get into higher states of meditation also. People who just came for physical, they are gone into meditation, they have sat for 40-50 minutes in a day with eyes closed. So when I did my sadhana over there was a lady who was cleaning. She came into our room on the third day when my father was about to discharge. She came and she folded her hands and she said, can I share something to you? She said, that there are nearly 20 to 30 rooms around the wardroom. She cleans the room every day. But once she enters my father's room,
Share about your transformation journey. How did it all begin? How did you come to know about Sadhguru? What yoga practices did you start with? And after how many days of practice did you notice changes in yourself?
I need to become emotional to talk about this. I think the journey started in 2004 when my mom left actually. So from that time onwards, I was very young. I was just 11 years old. So I didn't know that, such kind of thing can happen. But quickly I recovered, I felt. The pain and the things what happened to me, I felt I've recovered everything. But there was a point which came, there was always something kind of a pain within me, which was always there, which I could not express it to anybody. So due to that pain, we tend to do many things like compulsive eating and let out our anger in some other way. So in that case, I started eating lots of junk foods. I love eating junk foods. I can eat 2 large pizzas. So, but still my metabolism was in such high rate that, I used to be very thin. But from 2013 till 16, when I started doing my internship for my chartered accountancy, that time my work became very sedentary. Sedentary in the sense I used to sit for like 12 to 16 hours in one place and work. And what I wanted to eat, I used to eat that. In that case, my weight started, I started becoming like Mother Earth. Jab Mother Earth, when you start becoming, then everywhere, it's like the thing starts protruding nicely. There was a stage where I used to look like a potato. So people have called me by that name also. So it's like couch potato, they used to tell me. Many things they used to tell, but there was something within me always said that, that I will come back again, I'll transform. So my journey with Sadhguru and Isha Foundation just started because of weight loss. because I wanted to regain, the weight which I wanted to my body to be actually. But the circumstances played in such a way that, my aunt was getting treatment in Isha Foundation. Just before 1 month, I came to know about Sadhguru. My friend, he's my school friend from 11th standard. His name is Venkatapati. He showed me Sadhguru's video. So we were traveling to Mahabalipuram in Chennai. I said that what will this Dadi Wala Baba teach me? I know more than what Sadhguru is going to tell me. My
Okay.
state of thinking was in that level in 2015 December. So within just like 20 days, I came to know that you have a chance of going to Isha Foundation. So I just Googled about Isha Foundation. I came to know that, Sadhguru has done this, Sadhguru has encroached the forest, Sadhguru has, done this. So all the negative thing, and I'm fully logical, or I was like full and Gnostic, like an atheist. I was. Then suddenly going to the foundation where a temple is there. You need to go to Dhyan Linga. You need to go to Linga Bhairavi. I was just thinking, "Arey yaar, this is not my cup of tea. Why should I be going?" But still, something within me said that just be open to the place where you're going. But once I went to the foundation, I realized that something is happening over here. People are so joyful. People are so active. How can they be actually? Because from where I was brought up, I came to know that unless you're not working hard, unless you're not, you know, you should be hardcore in what you're doing. You should be having a serious pace. Then only,
Yes.
you what you want actually. But I'm going there, I'm seeing people that, Arey yaar, people are so happy and they're doing so much activity. I'm a 23-year-old that time and I can't do that much. That really, pricked me actually. That made me realize that these people are doing something which I need to do. Then I came into Shambhavi. I just took it up of doing the practice. To share something more about, Shambhavi, once I learned, I can eat 6 to 8 meals in a day. After I started practicing Shambhavi, my meal became 3 times. Before Shambhavi, it was 6 to 8 times a meal. And in my life, I have never done fasting. Once I did Shambhavi with a practice of 6 months, I did an 8 days fasting. I basically come from a Jain family. So in Jainism, they do a lot of fasting and all this. I used to always stay away from this fasting. But with just that the practice, I was able to break my limitation of doing the fasting of 8 days. I went 7 days working for my CA internship. For 7 days, I was working. I didn't have any problem. And I was doing my activity also. I was doing my practice also. I was fasting also. Fasting in the sense we just have water. Water is from morning 9 to 6. After the sunset, you'll not have water also. So this is how the fasting happens in Jainism actually. So I was able to do it comfortably. The practice was going on. So I was around 80 kgs that time. So with the practice, my weight became stable, I'll say. It is not that, I became drastically, my weight reduced, I won't say. So then in 2017, I started learning one Hatha Yoga practice called Angamardana. So Angamardana is a yogic workout, we say. It just takes around 25 to 30 minutes to do the practice. I went for the program. So 5 days, I did the workshop. From that day onwards, till now, I haven't missed Angamardana. It's
Oh,
like 2017 till now, 2024. Angamardana has always been part of me actually. So with just few months of practice, I was able to, the weight became around like I could distinctly see that, the weight has reduced. My body has become very light. I was able to push myself in limits which I thought, it's not possible. So slowly, once the transformation started happening, I started learning more practices. I started doing many things which logical framework mind people will think that, okay, how is that possible? Once I learned Angamardana in 2017, I did 31 days of fasting. After 2 months, I went to a mountain called Girnar. So around 9,999 steps are there. So on an
hmm.
average, every day I used to climb around 15,000 to 20,000 steps. So for 45 days, I did this. With the
Okay.
practice of Angamardana, I'm saying, so we were around 500 people over there. We did a Navanu Yatra. So we used to have one time a meal. And we used to climb the mountain. We'll come down. We'll have our one meal. And after 6 p.m., we are not allowed to have water also. So everybody, whoever comes down, they will have oil in their hands. They'll do massage and everything. I just do early morning Angamardana and Shambhavi. I'll do the practice. I'll go for the yatra. Around 2 to 3 yatras, if you do, you'll do around 15,000 steps. I'll come down. I'll have my meal. I'll stay in the ashram. We'll do bhakti, kirtan, and everything. That's it. The day will go like that itself. So with this, I was totally transformed. So just do your sadhana, have a right approach, what you really want to do, your activity. Then the transformation will definitely happen to you. But you need to keep, be consistent in doing what you're doing. If you're not consistent in what you're doing, then whatever it is will not yield to you. So whoever is going to watch this, I'm just sharing whatever is there, which is an alive process right now with me. There is nothing to, make up or do something. This is how I am actually. Just keep doing what has been given to you. Based on the schedule you do, then transformation will definitely happen to you.
Is yoga better option than the gym for weight loss and physical transformation? Will it work as effectively for others as it did for you?
If it is not working, I don't think Sadhguru would have given it to anybody. So, talking about yoga versus gym. So, I'm a yoga person who has gone for just one day when I was practicing, when I was playing football, and I used to not able to lift weights actually. So, that one day I went and I was doing some weightlifting. I decided that that is my last day of going to the gym. I'm not going to go to the gym. So, from
Okay, okay.
2070, I have practiced practice called Angamardana. So Angamardana, we call it as yogic workout actually. So in yoga, what we
Yes.
do is we focus on sinews and ligaments, the joints which are holding our body. So if you make
Mm.
that strong, you'll see that your body will be very strong. So if you really want to, make your muscles, if you will learn a practice called Surya Shakti. I may not look muscular right now, but if I stay in one place, because I'm a traveling teacher, I don't be in one place. Every week I've traveled to a different city. I be in somebody's house. I eat their food. Sometimes I eat outside. That is why. So around I do around 260 cycles of Surya Shakti daily. So if you
Mm.
really want to, build up your muscles, you just learn Surya Shakti practice, do 33 cycles or 48 cycles. If you really build up, you come to 108 cycles, your body will be in a different level, I'm saying, just not on physical state, but also on, the energy wise, what we are talking. So if you eat properly, I think these practices are more than enough that you don't need to go to gym. Gym is something, when
Mm.
you're traveling, you can't find gym, but this, the practice, once you learn, you can do it anywhere where you are actually. Recently, 4 days back, I was in Prayagraj. So I did Angamardana and I did 130 cycles of Surya Shakti just outside the waiting room, AC waiting room. I kept my luggages over there. I carry 50 kgs of luggage. So there is an Instagram reel which I have also posted about it. If you wish, you can check that out. So I carry 50 kgs
Okay.
of luggage. So with the practice, what I'm doing, if you're consistent on doing, you don't need to go to gym at all. See, gym,
Mm.
I have seen people, you have bulky muscles. You'll not even be, you'll need to sleep for nearly 6 to 8 hours. People will sleep for 8 hours. Their food will be of something different. So with consistent practice of doing yoga, your body can also be, made in a very different way. Transformation will happen naturally. The detox, what happens with the sweat, what comes out. The sweat, what comes out on gym is a different thing. The sweat, what comes out when you're doing the practices, this is of a different thing. This is energy, what we are talking actually. If you just want to be fit, you can do, gym. But here we are talking that, your energy system will also bet into a beautiful way. Your energies will rise. At the same time, your sinews and ligaments will be strong. You will become active in what you're doing. So you'll not be lazy. After you come to gym, you need to sleep for nearly 8 hours. Whereas you do your practices regularly, you just sleep for 4 to 6 hours is more than enough for you. This is a live example which I'm talking. It's not something which I'm making up and then talking to you all. It's a live experience of many of us who are consistent with their practices. They have seen a huge difference between us. See, I'm not saying you don't go to gym, but I'm saying that the practice what you're doing, what are you going to approach? The approach should be very important for you.
For someone new to Hatha Yoga who doesn't know about where to begin, with options like Surya Kriya, Surya Shakti, Angamardana, and Yogasanas, where should they start?
See, I would suggest that, if you want to get into Hatha Yoga practices or any yoga practices that you want to get in, one thing is see that how much time you're able to invest on a
Mm.
daily basis. First, sit down, plan your day, plan your activity. Okay, this is how my work schedule is. I can spend half an hour. So for half an hour, if you can spend, there is a specific practice which you can learn. If you have 1 hour, we can suggest you for 1 hour you can learn that practice. If you have 2 hours, we can suggest you multiple practices. So first and the foremost important thing is the time. The second thing is what type of practice you want to learn. Whether you want physical or whether you want spiritual. Physical in the sense you just want physical fitness. See, I want my body to be physically fit. If I'm able to get up and then do it, if I'm able to move around, if my body is fine, that's okay. Spiritual in the sense you want certain, meditative quality, you want to sit down with your eyes closed, you want to, experience certain more things in your life. If that is what you're seeing, then there's one more set of practices. Like you can learn Surya Kriya for that, which is more spiritual and physical also included. So if you add Surya Shakti with it, you will see that, it will just take you around 45 minutes to 1 hour, the entire Surya Kriya and Surya Shakti practice. So that way you can do it. That is one thing. If you're just looking at physical aspect, you can start with Angamardana. It's called yogic workout. Yogasanas is more subtle process we see. So something which is of subtle process in nature, then in that requires certain commitment and discipline for you to do it. If such kind of commitment and discipline you are having, then you can definitely get into yogasanas also. You will see the way it gives you balance and clarity in your body. There is no much other practice which can give you. But one more thing is the time factor, what you really want to do it, physical or spiritual, and how committed you are to these practices. See, anything you learn, you should do it for at least minimum of 6 months. If you want to know what the body is happening to you, correct? So when you were young, when you were, told to brush, your mom would have told you, right? No brushing, no food, correct? So after few years, if your mom is coming right now and she's telling that, no, this brushing was a mistake. Please don't do it. I have stopped. Will you stop brushing? You know the significance of what the brushing is doing to you, right? The same thing is with the practice. You practice it for 6 months. Even after some time, after a few years, the Sadguru comes and tells you, right? Okay, this practice was a mistake, so I don't want to do it. You learn need to practice. Because what the practice has done to you, you will know in an experiential way. So once you know that, you not miss the practice. So these factors you have to keep in mind when you talk, before you just, talk to a teacher. Maybe about the practices to understand, you can definitely talk to them. But first thing is assess that how much time you have, then what type of practice you want, and how committed you can be for the practice. You invest your money and time, right? So when you're going to invest your money and time, it's very important that, you think about these aspects and then do it.
What makes Isha Hatha Yoga different from other schools of yoga? Heard some people sharing that while they have practiced yoga elsewhere, the experiences they have had with Isha Yoga are unmatched. Is there a unique element in Isha Hatha Yoga that sets it apart?
To tell the truth, I have not done any other forms of yoga or have not done any other schools of yoga. But definitely, I'm just not a Hatha Yoga teacher because Sadhguru says that no, you want to be a teacher, you can be a teacher. But are you aiming to become a Hatha Yogi? If that is what you're aiming, then this is where I want you to be. This is where Sadhguru wants us to be actually, not as a Hatha Yoga teacher, but a Hatha Yogi. So why I'm saying this? Because I am going more deeper into Hatha Yoga practices which I do. So when I go deeper, what I have realized and what participants have told us that, since I'm taking classes, one thing is, Hatha Yoga is not a physical exercise alone what you're doing. It gives you a very stable platform. It balances your body in a certain way so that you're able to hold your energy once, For example, if you are having a bulb which is of 30 watts, if you're going to give 50 watts into it, what will happen, Anna? Burst ho jayega, correct? Fuse out ho jayega. The same thing what will happen is to your system also. If suddenly you're fusing in more energy or, something pumping up more, if your body is not stable, if your body is not able to hold it, what will happen? You'll be exhausted, you'll be, you'll be gone, correct? The same thing when you do your Hatha Yoga practices, especially in Isha, what I have seen is we make your body into a stable platform where you're able to hold it. You're holding the energy, you're preparing yourself for something, mm, which is like in a physical level, if you compare, you'll be more like a superhuman to others if you're consistent with the practice. And one thing is, it'll help you to go into Kriya Yoga. It'll help you to do your practices like Shambhavi, Shakti Shalagriya, what you're doing. It'll help you a lot actually. So that way, physically, what and what I have heard that people generally don't do with eyes closed actually. Eyes closed means they just do pranayam. If you're doing any other hatha yoga practices, what I've heard that eyes closed never happens to them. So once internally when you close your eyes, you want to make the process internal. See, you want to experience everything, right? You experience everything what is happening inside your system. Correct? Whether you taste something beautiful, whether you smell something, everything is like internal actually. So once you close your eyes, you start observing things, what is happening in your system, how your body is, how you're walking, how everything is moving on. Once you learn Hatha Yoga, you will know that the very way you walk, the very way you keep your body in a certain alignment, you'll see that you'll keep your body in a certain way. If you sit like this, okay, the very way you speak will be different. If your posture is in the right way, you'll see that the very way you communicate and speak, that will be of a different scape. So all these things, once you know the Hatha Yoga practices, what has been taught in Isha, you will see, they are like aligning yourself to a bigger geometry actually. So we pay more attention on how the system is actually. Certain practices, certain asanas should not be done by certain people, means they should not do it. So all these things, I think many schools they are also taking care. But here we focus more on those things also. So that way, the practice is like, on a wholesome it is being given. It is not just randomly we'll tell you, okay, you do this practice, you do that practice. So that is, in a way, it is a wholesome practice for the person also. At the same time, uh, it is just not physical exercise what you're doing. Initially, it will look physical, but as you keep doing it, it becomes into more subtle and subtle process. So I feel that is the nature where I think there's a difference between other schools and this school. But personally, I've just done Isha programs. I think
Mhm.
I have not tasted any of the programs at all because the way we teach and the way the clarity came to me, I felt okay, this is how it should be done. So that's the experience of mine.
Sadhguru says that practicing yogasanas can lead to ecstatic states within. Could you share more about this?
So I'll go back to the training actually. So in Hatha Yoga teachers training, the Hatha Yoga training has been divided into three: Hatha pain, Hatha torture, Hatha bliss. So these are the three dimensions, which has been divided into the Hatha Yoga teacher training. Hatha pain in the sense initially you're doing Hatha Yoga practices, so there will be pain in your body. Hatha torture is on the second phase when you go. So when you don't want to do Hatha Yoga, but still you're doing Hatha Yoga. So once you cross the Hatha torture and once you come into bliss, this is what you experience called like ecstatic. So anything you're working upon, initially there will be pain for you. Then when you're consistent in doing, your body, someday it will say, don't do Hatha Yoga. Hatha meaning is adamant in one more. In Sanskrit language, there are two meanings. So one in Hatha Yoga, Hatha means adamant. Whatever happens, you are keep doing it. Even if they send you to the hell, the devil will get frustrated, but you are becoming like a Hatha Yogi. So that's how the practice is. So once you cross that phase, the bliss or the ecstasy what you feel, your body will feel naturally happy. This is a live experience what I'm happy. With my Hatha Yoga, when I do it, it's not a pain at all for me. I have been in very severe cold and fever states. When I do my Hatha Yoga practices, my practices become much more better, especially when I have fever. My stretches, the way I go into the posture, it becomes more better. Previous year, I can still remember, I was very sick after Grace of Yoga volunteering, which I came. For 1 month, I didn't take any classes. I used to do my sadhana. I used to sleep. I used to eat. These are the only three things which I did. But still, I was very happy. So once you keep practicing Hatha Yoga regularly, the bliss or the ecstasy, what we say, your body will be in a loose way. See, it is just that we don't want you to become flexible with your body. You become flexible with your mind also. Once you become flexible with your mind, you will naturally be happy, right? Whatever the situation the world is throwing at you, see, you cannot change it, but you can change yourself. If your body is in a such malleable way, the clay or the mud, what is there, you have an opportunity to create in whichever shape you want, correct? Either you can
Yes.
make the pot in such a big one, or either you can make it into a small one, correct? So, Hatha Yoga I would just not say yogasanas. Hatha yoga in sense itself, it allows your body to be in that malleable stage. Today you want to become like this, fat, you can become fat. Tomorrow you want to become thin, you can become thin. You can just shape your body in a certain way. So the same thing is with the situations also. Whatever the life situation you're being put into, you become in that state where you know that that situation I cannot change. But based on that situation, I can change myself. So in that situation, will you be happy or sad? So this is what we say that yogasanas, once you get into that ecstatic state, especially after you cross the hatha pain, hatha torture, and once you reach that bliss, you'll see you'll be able to hold that bliss on a very long skate actually. Experientially, I'm saying. I don't know how many of them will be able to explain this, but this is how explanation can happen when it is a live experience for you.
What would you say to youths who think yoga is boring or uncool and instead turn into drugs, alcohol, or risky adventures in search of excitement and higher experiences in life?
To personally, when I heard about yoga, when I was actually around in my articleship time, when I was doing my CA internship. So yoga, when I heard it is always, I meant that yoga is for old people actually, who will sit with their eyes closed. See, when your
Yeah.
body is bursting with energy, you don't want to sit with your eyes closed,
Yes.
because that is what how the trend is going on. That is how everyone is trying to think that right now I have so much bubbling energy within me. If I'm going to sit with my eyes closed, it's such a boring thing to do. So that way, I would say that if youth really want to do it, they can try Angamardana, because Angamardana is not done with eyes closed, and definitely it will be challenging for you. If you think that if it doesn't challenge you, you come for the class. We'll make sure that it challenges for you. Yeah, youth can come. You go for the gym. You pay so much of money. You pay 3,000 rupees, or in some places the amount is different. Actually, different cities. Just with the 3,000, you just do the practice on a regular basis. It will make a huge difference for you. People who are addicted, people who are having problem. If your body is healthy, you talk to the Hatha Yoga teacher. They'll guide you. You just get into the practice of Angamardana. Angamardana will make a huge difference for you. If you feel that life is not challenging for you, we'll challenge it. We'll make it challenging. Okay.
Okay.
So youth who are really, who are like passionate in what they want to do, in order for you to have a stable platform is very important. Once you feel that you have control over it, I mean, you have some mastery over your physical body, you will see that, the direction in which what you want to go, you'll go. Because right now the youth, what I see, they get into drugs, they get into, alcohol, they get into many other things. And then after some time, they suffer. Once they get
Hmm.
into these things, then they come to us, they message us, that can we do something about it? So in order for you to go into that step, just don't go there. Just learn these practices. It'll make a huge difference for you. It's an investment for your life actually. See, right now you may feel, this guy, okay, he's an idiot. What does he know about these things? But once you get into 25, 26, and then once you're earning, the compulsive behavior will show on your work. See, social work life will also have an impact for you. You may think it's funny right now. You may think it is all, it's going all, arey yaar, it's a trend. What he knows. If I smoke like this, okay, he won't know. It doesn't work like that. So if people who are really concerned about themselves, people who are not concerned about themselves, we can't do anything for you. If you're truly concerned about yourself, if you feel that you're not able to find anything, if this podcast or if this video is helping you, you just learn some hatha yoga practice. Like, if you feel that you don't want to do your eyes closed, Angaparana is something which you can start with, where eyes will be open and then you'll be doing the practice. As you keep doing the practice, the stability what it will create within you, you will see that, you'll be able to get into, higher states of meditation also. People who just came for physical, they are gone into meditation, they have sat for 40, 50 minutes in a day with eyes closed, with just the practice of Angamardana, I'm saying. Over a period of 3, 4 months, once they did the practice, their sharing was, now I can sit with my eyes closed without any problem. So if you truly want to, experience life, if you want to, have a life which is more adventurous, because I love adventure. See, even I don't like, I never wanted to just sit with my eyes closed. But right now, if I sit with my eyes closed, also it's a different thing. But right now, if I want to be adventure, I can do adventure also. See, when you have such kind of control or such kind of, mastery within your system, then your body is like, it's like what you want to do. It's not like somebody is telling you, right? Nay, if you do it only, then I'll do it. Okay, if this happens only, I'll do it. But first, your body itself is not in a certain state, and you want to climb, 100 steps. I have seen people who are like younger than me, they can't climb even 400 steps. I have done 4,000 steps in a day. It's just the mindset. If your body is in a certain way which says yes, 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 you'll do it. But if your body is always, I can't do it. I'm so tired. You can't do anything, my friend.
Why do people have to pay to learn yoga? Why can't it be taught free of cost?
I just came to know that, Anna, if anything is offered free, it doesn't have value for it. Because when it is being offered for the free, people will not show the same level of commitment and, the discipline what it should be there. So when I've offered for free, I've seen people, first day they'll come, second day they'll not come. Because then what happens? There is certain sequence and there is a certain process which happens for you that, you need to go through that. You go to a doctor, if he's doing a heart surgery, if he opens your, chest and you say that you don't want to do the surgery, can you run away from the operation theater? The same thing here, we are trying to put you into certain process. Once we put you into certain process, for you to, committedly come and sit, we need to take money from you. For your health, for your well-being, if we take money, you do it for 30 days or 40 days. If it is being offered for you free, do you even value it? You will say we'll do it tomorrow. It's for free now. That's how the economics are working right now. If that particular brand is selling on a higher rate, that means that brand is having a quality. If I talk in economical terms, then only people purchase it, right? Why are they purchasing a 100 rupees kerchief and not a 20 rupees kerchief? The same kerchief only, but on the quality they are seeing the difference. Huh? Because that is having a brand value. This is not. So yoga, when it is being offered for free, how many of you are going for it on a daily basis and then doing it? It is not a certificate which you need to get, okay, I did this free yoga program, that's it. You come, do our practices, do it on a regular basis, you'll see a difference. And you're just paying one small amount for one lifetime. If you pay 3,000 rupees, Shambhavi, that's it. Inner engineering is just 3,000 or 5,000, whatever the amount is right now. I'm not sure of it. So you pay that. It's a lifetime amount which you have paid. You can spend, when you go out, you spend 1,500 a day for one meal a time. But when it comes for your health, when it comes for your well-being, to even spend 2,500, you think so much. You need to sit back and then decide, how it is for you. Because these things, I don't get into bargaining pasand nahi hai. Because yoga, when it has been offered for free, I've seen people how leisure they are, how casually you take it. If truly you value it, you will not mind paying money. So you need to sit back and think.
Some people spread negativity about Isha, claiming it's unsafe for women, that it brainwashes people and more. What would you say to those who believe such things, considering you have stayed at Isha for over 6 months during your teacher training and visited many times?
See, once you believe something, there is nothing which I can tell you. Once you are a believer, you'll always believe that's the truth for you. Because I don't want to get into argumentation with you. I don't want to convince you. I would tell you that you go and experience it, no? See, everything you're saying that, okay, this has happened, that has happened, a woman is not safe. Take up the responsibility, travel to that place, just look at it. I'm a traveling teacher. I'm traveling for life also. I've heard many stories which, if I share it to you, you may think that it's okay. It's not there. This is also a story for you. You think it's a story, right? It's a story only which you're seeing, na? Go experience it, no? सीधा बोलूंगा मैं, just go experience it, stay there for 3-4 days. If you find any problem, report it. But if you don't have any problem, take your Instagram page, story, just photo, I mean the camera को थोड़ा roll कर लो, अपना चेहरा ले लो. What you spoke to your friends and family that this place is not safe. Just make a small story about it and just say, okay, this place is safe. That's all. Experience it by yourself, man. See, even if I'm going to tell you that that place is like this, that, it will not make a difference, Anna. If you truly want to experience it, go there and experience it. If you have any problem, then report it. In my personal experience, I didn't find any woman, having any problem over there. Even when I read about Sadhguru, he said that, they have killed his wife, he has encroached everything. So all these things, even I read it. I went to that place, I saw it. I'm not going to say any positive about it. I'm not going to say any negative about it. You take your bag, go there, see that place. You'll get to see it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. You have Google, review kar do. Kya jayega? That's all.
We can't end this podcast without discussing your commitment to yogic practices. Could you share how much yoga you practice in a day, how you manage your time for it, and have you ever missed your practices?
On a daily basis for past around from last Guru Purnima till now, 5 to 6 hours of sadhana I do on a daily basis. Anna. So wherever I'm traveling, whatever I'm doing, I'm not missing my practices. So I ensure I know how much time it takes for my practices. So based on that, I keep doing my practices because I can distinctly see the difference what the practice is doing to me. So the practice helps me to be, feel alive. It's not something a compulsive behavior which I'm doing. So please don't take me, mistake me that, it's because of compulsion or addiction this person is doing. It's not a compulsion which I'm doing, an addiction doing. I'm just, I hope everyone takes bath regularly. So one day if you don't take bath, how do you feel actually? You don't feel good, right? So is it because of compulsion or because of addiction are you doing? It's happening naturally, right? The same thing I'm saying you. Whatever practices you're learning, if your mind, if your framework is such that, whatever the situation is, if you're able to do the practice and then keep your mind in a different way, in a very better way, then you're not doing it compulsively. I know people will say that, that situation demands that you should not do your practices. People need you, people don't need you. So all these scenarios will come. See, my father needed me when he was in ICU, but I can't go into ICU and operate him. Can I operate? In January, he was in ICU for past 3 days. I had to postpone my classes from Maharashtra and I went to Chennai. I went there. I was outside ICU. I did my sadhana over there also because I understood that sitting outside, moaning about him, thinking what will happen to my father, and me getting into a negative state is better than that I go do my sadhana. At least the nonsense, negative thoughts, I was able to remove it. I was able to keep a stable mind, a calm mind, what I can do for my father, whatever the situation demands. So to share that experience to you, even when he came back in a normal room, that is, so when I did my sadhana over there was a lady who was cleaning. She came into our room on the third day when my father was about to discharge. She came and she folded her hands and she said, can I share something to you? I said, Akka, please share. What happened? She said, that there are nearly 20 to 30 rooms around the ward room. She cleans the room every day. But once she enters my father's room, she said that that place is very calm. In an hospital, she's saying that the place is very calm, peaceful, and I've seen you doing sadhana. I've seen you doing yoga practice. Please teach me also. See, I'm not saying that that situation, everyone's situation is different, but it's just that your mindset, how it is. How, if that sadhana is making you feel in a better way, the right approach to sadhana is very important. If that right approach to sadhana is not there, then whatever you do will be like compulsive. Shambhavi should not become compulsive act for you. You're doing Shambhavi because something beautiful is happening to you. Correct? That Shambhavi should not become compulsive. Then no, I need to do 31 minutes. I need to do 31 minutes. Change your approach. You're doing Shambhavi so that the rest 23 and a half hours, that Shambhavi should live within you. So for that reason, you're doing the 31 minutes. That is the reason why you're doing the sadhana. If that kind of attitude you're having, then you're not compulsive. Whatever the situation is, you can tell them politely. Just give me 30 minutes time. Let me do my sadhana. And then we'll do whatever you want to do. People who are loving to you, people who are taking care of you, they should understand that he needs his privacy also. If such type of people is not able to, find, then you need to sit down and think, is my Sangha very good? How many days will you sacrifice it? What kind of badge are you gonna get by sacrificing it? Every person's situation is different because he faces a lot of things. But you need to find ways in which you can do it. At the same time, you're not becoming rigid, you are not becoming hard. So that is something which you need to decide. For me, I have taken up my sadhana because I have chosen this path for me. For that, 6 hour sadhana is like conducive for me. But for you, this sadhana may not be conducive for you. Correct? So whatever you hear from me, you can hear it. But if you want to do it, then many things you need to give it off. I left my chartered accountancy. I don't earn much, but I'm still happy. Whatever I get, I feel that that's enough for me. 2 meals a day. My first meal happens at sometime 3:34 p.m. Are you able to do it on this consistent basis? But you see still a smile on my face. So you need to decide what you really want to do. So I just think that this is what the sadhana is making me. It's making me into a more beautiful person. So that is the reason why I'm committed to my sadhana.